You guys kind of touched on this interesting point about what people expect, and dealing with like real estate, it's kind of like restaurants. They have a couple products in restaurants, and it's very much this entrenched behavior that's very old school, and they don't really adapt very well to new things. And I'm guessing, yeah, the majority of real estate is like that as well. I'm curious how you guys went about kind of researching what those behaviors were in order to create this new experience for them that wasn't too far removed from what they're used to cause like that discomfort where they're just closed off to it and they're able to actually kind of like feel comfortable enough to try it. Yeah, start with you, Michael.
Yeah, I think for me it's just a matter of getting your head out of the clouds a little bit and stop focusing on developing high-level partnerships and making kind of strategic decisions. But for me to really get a feeling for what the whole environment was like that we were marketing to, I had to take a step back and work with a lot of these realtors individually while we were still developing the product and the interface to make sure that everything was right. And in doing so, we actually uncovered so many little things and changes that we had to make, but we wouldn't have known what we had to change and what we had to do to roll out the product unless I had taken that extra time to ultimately interact with the target market. So I think that's really important, especially, like you said, for learning about your target. So
yeah, I think Max, like you guys are a little bit interesting too because
a little bit
because you're really changing how people are approaching real estate and looking and purchasing it. And I mean, every experience you got to be aware of all the different stakeholders
right.
that are attached to it, whether it's realtors, buyers, even like within the real estate agency, like the managers and owners and such, rather than just the agents. So I'm really curious how you guys kind of like approach this and kind of figured out a strategy to introduce this product that is very much like ahead of its time in some respects.
Sure.
And not just like your approach, but how did you test that and figure out what was the right one to put all your eggs into the basket with?
Yeah, I mean, we're dealing with the biggest purchase of or sell financial decision of most people's lives, so it's a big deal. And you make assumptions going out. We made assumptions about the age of our users, the profile of our users, and a lot of them weren't correct. Like we've learned a lot as we've gone along. We've really tried to tap. It's such an emotional decision, so tapping into the emotions of our customers or our not addressable market, but like you said, target market. Really identifying what are those fears, uncertainties, doubts, concerns of not using Rex, but selling or buying any home, and figuring how do we boil that up and actually address those concerns using technology and a promise and a way to deliver, and go out and test it. You could test it by, you always want to talk to your customers. So we do research, we bring people in, we do a lot of data-driven testing, whether it's A/B testing or whatever else, to see what actually works and figure out how do we let the data speak and not people's opinions. Right. I mean, that's been invaluable and something we all push for now.
That's great.
So I think it's an ongoing journey. I don't think there's a destination. We're only a little over a year old, so we don't have all the answers. But the best advice I could give and the best experience I have is just continuously talking to our customers. We talk to not focus groups, but we recruit people. We try to talk to every buyer and seller and really get as much candid feedback, whether it's good or bad hopefully it's good about their experience. But I mean, personally, I know that we're out to do good. Like we're not out to, we really want to improve the process. We know that most people aren't. There are great agents out there. There are great experiences, but I know that on average people aren't thrilled with their experience. On average, people choose a realtor because it's their aunt's friend and not because they're the most qualified. So we know there's opportunity to do it, and we know there's a market there. Now it's like it's just talking to people and figuring out how does that actually realize into a product. I mean, I think it's ongoing learning, and never rest on your laurels and think you have it figured out, because that's when that stuff happens.
Yeah, competition
Yeah.
comes in. Yeah, it's not too.
And the point that you made that I really like is when you're talking about gathering user feedback and you're not just going off one-off things that people say to you, but really to make it data-driven, because otherwise you may end up reacting too quickly. Like, I remember at first we were getting someone that said, oh, like, I don't like this or I don't like that, and we'd be like, oh my God, we should think about changing this, but thank God we thought about it, because maybe it was just that one person. So when you have the data, it's really important and crucial. So I think that's a really good point.